go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let me just figure out here how to share my screen. And I can, there we go. It's like on my laptop screen, it's hard to move the different windows around, but my presentation this morning is actually through Menti. If you're familiar with mentimeter.com, if you would like to interact with it, feel free to go ahead and open your device and you can go to menti.com and enter the code on your screen. I'm going to do it just to see that it works. I've tested it, I've used it before, but and also you do not have to, so don't feel like you have to interact if you don't like, but it will pull up the presentation and then there's some questions as we move through. So, all right, well, this session is going to be on living your best college life. We've got how to find your way, make every moment count, and feel supported during your first year. So really looking at support services that are quite common across our campus, Oklahoma State, as well as many college campuses in the US. So I've tried to make it applicable to everywhere. Of course, the examples that I'll be giving will come from Oklahoma State. My name is Audrey and I am the International Recruitment Specialist here. I went to Oklahoma State myself. I'm a two-time graduate of OSU. Moved away. If you were in on the beginning part of the presentation, I did live in Southeast Asia for a couple of years. And then I've worked in the international ed realm for the past going on 6 years. So I'm happy to be speaking with you all this morning and thank you so much for your time. So this presentation, I've kind of broken it down into 4 areas, and each of these areas could really just be a presentation all on its own. So it's going to be quite brief, but to give you an idea of the different support that you can find in these different areas. So we'll look at learning, connecting, being well, and advancing. So the first of these is learning. And I do have, so I don't know who on here is a counselor or a student, but if you are a student and if you're logged in to share, then you can type in what you're planning to study or what your interests are there if you'd like. If you aren't on Menti and you want to share through Zoom, then you can do that as well through the chat box. If anyone wants to share. We've got business. I'll put in what I studied as well. I changed my major when I was a student and ended up with a Spanish degree. But yeah, business is great. We've got a really good business school here. All right, so thank you for sharing. We got computer science in there too. That one seems to be really popular too, lots of students. Study computer science. Now I'm trying to see why my presentation, there we go. Okay, so thank you guys for sharing. So as far as learning and being supported in this realm, so pretty much every college campus is going to set you up with an academic advisor. So once you might work with an admissions counselor or an admissions advisor during your application process, but then once you make the move over, you will be connected with an academic advisor. These are great resources for you to really build a relationship with this person as they'll be with you throughout your time at college. And they can help guide you through each semester as you complete your degree. They're also just a great resource because they will know you for that full 4 years. If you really take the time to check in with them, once or twice a semester, they can help make sure you're on the right path. If you aren't enjoying what you're studying, college is a big time and money commitment. So you want to make sure that you're doing something that you're enjoying. And then they can also, be there as a resource for letters of recommendation and that sort of thing once you are moving on from college, or even if you're looking to get involved in other areas campuses while you're at college. So academic advising, keep your academic advisor in mind. And then academic tutoring. So a lot of campuses are going to offer free tutoring of some kind. I know here we have a campus tutoring office. We also have a subject resource center. So there's actually like a math lab specifically. There's a writing center. There are language labs if you're studying a language. And then we also have one-on-one tutoring that might be offered through the department. Again, it will look a little bit different depending on which university or institution that you end up at, but a great thing to keep in mind, you'll have a lot going on that first year, and you want to make sure that you're able to succeed academically. And there's a lot of free resources, so be sure to check those out no matter where you end up. And then just remembering that communication is key. So you can talk to your professors, you can go up to them, introduce yourself. You know, even if it's a really large class, it's always good to put a face with a name. So you can do that. You can talk to your advisor, as I said, really leverage that resource and lean into that support that you have. And then also talk to a friend. And it can be really daunting to think about moving overseas and not knowing anyone. So the next section that we'll talk about is connecting. So obviously the main reason for college, right? The overall objective is to further your education, but to succeed in that realm, you need to be, you know, happy and fulfilled in other realms as well. So getting connected through campus organizations can really help you do that and find a network of support. So some examples, we have an international student organization. Many campuses probably have a similar one. Student government organizations, honors, religious affiliated groups. There are service organizations if you enjoy giving back to different organizations or the community. Campus event planning or intramural sports. So no matter what your interests are, there's going to be a variety of these types of organizations across college campuses that you can get involved with and make friends outside of class. These are some examples, and I pulled, so OSU has more than 500, which is kind of crazy to think about that we have that many. But these are some examples that I pulled just to give you an idea. So this Homecoming Steering Committee, this would be an example of campus event planning. Homecoming is a major event that we have here each year. Latin dancing, we have the Asian American Student Association, running club, if you like to be active, if you like to run. I'm a runner myself, so I threw that one in there. And then Gamers of OSU, if you're into gaming, that might be one that you would be interested in. But just an idea for you of ways that you can, you know, meet people and get involved outside of class. And then this is actually, so talking about campus event planning, I threw in this video here. It'll kind of show you a really big event that we have here at OSU. No matter, again, where you choose, they're likely to have their own special, unique events that happen each year. So we'll check this out. It's just a couple minutes. All right, so as you can see, that's a major event that we have here. It's held every fall, but gives you a good idea of how large it is and how much involvement goes into the planning. So again, wherever you go, there's probably something similar to that. And you can see there's highlights the athletic portion as well, house decks, just different ways that the campus community connects. And this is just a picture of our International Student Organization in the homecoming parade. So that's another part of that same event, that video that we just watched. Okay, and another way that you can connect and build that friend network is through either residential or Greek life. So residential life, the on-campus housing, these are great ways to get involved in your dorm or your apartment that you live in will usually have volunteer and leadership opportunities and different events that they hold, as well as Greek life. So Greek life, a lot of times international students don't necessarily think about it, but it's certainly open to international students. But these are social and philanthropic organizations that you can be a part of to really, put yourself out there and connect and make new friends on a college campus. So these signs that are pictured here are also a part of our homecoming celebration, but they are put together through the residential and Greek life student organizations. Okay, and then lastly, for connecting, just remember that you are joining a college or a university, but you're also going to be joining a new community. So it will look different where depending on where you end up, but don't be afraid to put yourself out there in your new community as well. As I said, it'll look different depending on where you are. Our campus, Oklahoma State, is about 23,000 students, and the town is about 50,000 total. So they're very interconnected. You're kind of a part of one, you're a part of the other. But if you choose to go to university in a big city or something, it might look different. So this next section is on being well. So paying attention to physical and mental well-being while going through this crazy first year of college. First up, we have campus recreation. So a lot of campus universities, or university campuses, excuse me, will have a campus recreation center. Ours in particular, and many offer group fitness classes all throughout the week. We have personal training opportunities, or you can look for wellness or activity-based retreats that are sometimes hosted by a college campus. And to give you an idea, so and again, pretty much every college campus, I don't think I know of one that doesn't have this sort of facility. So you'll have the weights, we've got ellipticals and treadmills. We have an indoor track that's on the top level, indoor outdoor pool. There's a rock climbing wall. So can go and take a mental break from your studies. And then we also, I wanted to mention counseling and health services. So just being really mindful of your mental and emotional health. Obviously, when you're kind of changing gears and going from high school to college, that in and of itself is this major change. But doing that and also moving to a new country is just juggling a lot. So being in a new place, keeping up with your workload, making sure that you're making friends and that you're staying active. And then culture shock is a very, very real thing. So keeping all of that in mind, it might be a good idea to check out what counseling and health services are available on whichever campus you end up on. We do have counselors available here and also a university health clinic. So that's also something that you don't have to worry about as far as if you do need a doctor, it's relatively easy. And I think that's similar for other college campuses as well. They have an on-campus clinic, many of them. And then something that's kind of unique to OSU, we do have a Pete's Pet Therapy program. So Pete is our cowboy mascot, this guy here. So that's how the name came to be. But we have registered pet therapy dogs that you can find across our campus, various days throughout the week. So it's kind of nice to just take a break sometimes and hang out with with a dog. This is something that's quite unique to our campus. I'm sure other campuses may have similar programs, but I don't know specific ones. But I think that's kind of fun, and students usually like that we have that available. Okay, and then just remembering to fuel your mind and body. So staying healthy, your eating, drinking, and sleeping habits certainly play a role in, in how your first year goes, and it's a lot to keep up with, but just that reminder to take it easy on yourself as far as eating, drinking, and sleeping habits go. Okay, and then the last section that I'll discuss today is advancing. It's never too early to be thinking of how your college experience is going to really add up and play into your future career. College campuses normally have a career services office. So these offices serve as a place that you can go and get support with your resume or your CV. They can help you with your elevator pitch as far as, that question that's so common, like, tell me a little bit about yourself. So how can you answer that? And really just how do you prepare for your interview? These offices also have counselors that can assist you with on or off-campus employment. So one of the most common questions I get is, am I able to work while I'm going to school? And that is yes. On our campus, I know for sure it's a yes. On many campuses, I believe it's the same, but a career services office would be a good place to start if you are interested in working while you're going to school. Always nice to have a little bit of pocket money or to just help with that tuition. But then also the career services, they assist with career, your interview and everything, trying to start your career after college. And then also job and internship fairs. So universities will regularly hold these. In our case, we have one kind of overall umbrella giant job fair that happens every year, and employers come in, like several hundred come in and set up in our basketball arena, actually. But you will have one on, whichever college campus you choose, and internship fairs as well, job and internship fairs. Some of them, this next slide. So this one in particular is kind of showing, this is specifically for our hospitality and tourism management majors. So, it might be one that's just overall, or it might be one that is career field specific that you could attend. But this is a great opportunity to, after you have visited career services and you have fine-tuned that resume, you can go to job fairs. And it's never too early. Like if you want to go and browse and just see what is out there your very first year of college, then you're more than welcome to, to do that. And it can be a really good experience just to go and get familiar with talking to employers. Okay, and then the last little bit that I like to throw in here at the end is about goal setting. So we've talked about, being successful as far as academics with learning, making sure that you connect and build the support system that is so important, being well physically and mentally, and then of course, keeping an eye on the future and what this all means, like working towards a career. But you may have heard of SMART goals. I like to just throw it out there that it's nice to, maybe set a few goals for yourself for the first year and make them SMART goals. So make them specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So that could look something like, instead of saying, I want to do well my first year, you could say, I would really like to, I have this goal to join 3 different student organizations in my first year in order to get connected on campus. So you've got your timeline, you've got how many organizations you're gonna, get involved with and go from there. If anyone wants to contribute, you can feel free to drop in the box there a goal that you have. Again, you can use the Zoom chat as well if you prefer that over Menti. But I'll give you a few minutes if anyone wants to share. Okay. Well, if you don't want to share there, I do have this worksheet and I'm more than happy. I can send it out to everyone that has registered, but it kind of brings together the whole presentation in a concise form, just kind of a guideline for how to find that support on campus your first year. So with the learning, I've got a space where you can take down your advisor's name and their contact information. You can look up the campus tutoring office wherever you're located. Connecting, so writing down maybe 3 student organizations that you have found on your new college campus that you would like to be involved in. Being well, same thing. So how would you like to get involved for physical fitness, and then maybe your campus counseling services, you can look up where they're located. And then advancing, so writing down those goals for yourself, maybe 3 goals that you have for your first year in college. So as I said, I have this as a PDF file and I can share that resource with you. And with that, I'll say thank you. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Again, feel free to drop them in the chat, or if you want to come off mute and we can just have a conversation either about these examples and other support services or about OSU specifically. More than happy to answer any questions that you have. And I thank you guys so much again for being a part of it, for taking time out of your day to hear a little bit about campus support and also Oklahoma State. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Our GPA, our admissions requirements for Oklahoma State are a 3.0, 3.0 high school GPA, and then we have the IELTS or the TOEFL requirement. So that's a 5.5 on the IELTS or a 6.0 on the TOEFL. So 3.0 GPA. Let's see. And then a 5.5 IELTS or 61 TOEFL. That's the admissions requirements. Now for scholarships, it'll be a little bit different. We have a different scholarship chart that starts with a 3.25 GPA and then just one step up on the IELTS or the TOEFL. So if you have a 6.0 on the IELTS, then you would qualify for scholarships. Do you have any other questions? From AUP, so is this, are you a transfer student? Are you transferring from a different university? Is that AUP? Okay. Okay, so in that case, I should have asked, I'm sorry, the admissions requirements are a little bit different. So it will depend on the number of college credits that you'll be transferring over, what your GPA would need to be. It is a little bit lower for college students. And then we would still, if you're attending in a non-English speaking university, then we would still need that IELTS or the TOEFL. But as far as the transition, so same sort of thing, you would apply with the same application. It's going to be the same process. We're just going to look at your college GPA instead of the high school GPA if you have greater than 24 credit hours. And then we have an in-house evaluator here at OSU that will work to see how all of your courses will fit in. But it's a pretty easy process. I don't speak too much to exactly how the courses will transfer since I don't do that work, but the application process is the same. So you fill out the application, send us your college transcripts instead of your high school transcripts, and then we award credit where we're able to. Did that answer your question? Okay. How many are you looking into transferring after 2 years or transferring after 1 year? 2. Okay. Yeah. So I want to say it's a 2.5 college GPA is what we'd be looking for then with your transfer credits. And then what are you studying currently? Yeah, like, yeah, your program of study, like engineering or business or computer science. Computer science. Okay. Yeah. So like our computer science here, we would just see, and it might have been done before, depending on if we've had a student from your university come over, then it might, we'd have those courses already on file, but we can work with whatever courses are on your transcripts to see how they would, transfer over here. But it's pretty easy. You'll do like an online application and then send in those transcripts and the IELTS or the TOEFL score, and we'll help you through the rest of it. And I'll probably, I'm happy to follow up with an email too with more detailed instructions sometimes it helps to have it all out in front of you. So if you want to drop in your email, or I'll probably be able to get it from the registration, then I can send you those detailed instructions. Okay. E and L, if you take E and L, are other requirements needed. What do you mean by E and L? Yes, so we would probably still need the, I don't know where you are located, but more than likely we will still require the IELTS or the TOEFL, unless, and this goes back, so the course our international evaluator can have, that's kind of her final say, but if you're transferring from a university that does speak, like where you've taken all of your courses in English, then we wouldn't require that. But if you have some, if it's just English courses and then the rest of your courses are through a different language, then we would still require the IELTS and the TOEFL. But I've got, okay, so that might make a difference. Again, the international evaluator will have final say on that, but it is possible then in that case that you could have the IELTS or the TOEFL waived if all of your courses that you've been taking are in English. But I've got your email here, so I will send you, more detailed instructions so you have it all out in front of you, the resources that you need. Okay, you're very welcome. Thanks so much for joining. Have a good rest of your day.
Hey, great job.
Hey, thanks. It's always interesting sometimes when you
You
feel
can
like you're
push
talking to
on
yourself.
record, or you can stop recording now.
Yeah, there we go.
So